this is ridiculous. The whole point of they wanted to create something to blast him. They wanted to entrap him, create something. They tried to characterize a perfectly legitimate conversation as being somehow nefarious. The machination of behind this, the whole point of it. Remember when they were going after, and they were making a big deal after the election when you had the tentative transition going through, and you had the people, the president's advisors and all of this, president-elect at the time, his advisors, et cetera, and they were reaching out and just making that first contact with different leaders, different foreign countries. And even though every single president on God's ever-loving green earth has done this prior, apparently it was different because Trump was doing it. And so they tried to cite the Logan Act, and all these blue check people who've only ever picked lint out of their navel up in the Hamptons decided that they were experts on what the Logan Act is. So they put their mimosas down to poorly typed, barely legible pieces about it. And then they ruined this guy's life. He had to sell his house. He's like bankrupt. Millions of dollars in bills. I want to see people perp walked. I want to see people in handcuffs. I want to see Annie McCabe. I want to see James Comey. I want to see Peter Strzok, who looks like a grown version of Elf on the Shelf without the hat. I want to see these people get the Roger Stone treatment. I want to see these people get the Mike Flynn treatment. I want to see these people get the George Papadopoulos treatment. There has to be, and there must. And any Republican that doesn't follow through, I'm going to ask you where your beans and Frank are, because every single one of these people, nobody has been put in jail. There has not been a price on this. This was an attempted coup. There's no other way to put it. If that word makes you feel uncomfortable, then perhaps you need to come out of your safe space and acknowledge what your political party did because they were dissatisfied with the results of 2016. This was a coup. Plain and simple. An attempted coup. It failed. Barely. They almost got an innocent man. You got to be, and I've told you before, the whole point of the process charge that they got him on was he told them he didn't recall that a certain conversation went the way that they said. And as a result, they said, oh, you're lying. And they charged him. Peter Strzok, by the way, was the one who interviewed him. Now, keep in mind, they tried to say that Mike Flynn just couldn't recall the particulars of a conversation. But when Cheryl Mills and Huma Abedin outright lied about Hillary Clinton and the email server to Peter Strzok, the exact same person who was interviewing Michael Flynn, they didn't even, not so much as a second glance. There was no process charge for them. It would have actually been a legitimate charge because they actually legitimately lied. But this is all on politics. It is all about politics. Yeah, so you know what? Everything with the story that we have been, the stuff that we've been talking about with the overreach of local police and, some of the stuff with enforcing some of these stay-at-home orders, the mom in Wisconsin who was visited by law enforcement and they were trying to harass her because her kid went to go play at a neighbor's house and act like that was a big deal. And then plus with this, the optics are bad, man. I'm telling you, it's bad. He was ruined financially. Ruined. He had a legitimate conversation with an ambassador during a presidential transition period. And the FBI wanted to lead him into thinking that his recollections of the conversation that he had were inconsistent. And so this is the entire reason why they charged him with lying. There is zero reason. I have zero faith in the FBI. Oh, I know. I have to put the penny in the cup because humanity is stupid and we're destined for SMOD. That would be the most gracious thing to happen to us in some time. But I know I have to put the penny in the cup for all the sensitive snowflakes out there who say, oh, well, that's, there's some good people, blah, blah, blah. Are there? I mean, I know some people who are in the FBI. They're good people. Do I really have to draw pictures like that? Are people that stupid? Really?